There's a truth that I want to share with us as quick as we can. Matthew chapter 13, verse 24. It's projected, so we read together. Everybody is projected. Let's read together at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, go. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. Next verse, very quickly. I want you to meditate on the things you are reading. Don't just read it. Let it be staying on your heart. Let's read together. 1, 2, go. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. Please say, went his way. There are things I want to draw our attention to this night. One of the first is that a good man sowed good seed. They use the word good to reflect the nature of the man and juxtapose the seed that came from him. He is good, so the seed is good. A good man sowed good seed in his land. The land is his own. So the earth is the Lord's and its fullness thereof. Whatever any argument is, whatever spirit rules in any space or anything people worship in anywhere, it does not change this immortal truth. The earth is the Lord's and its fullness thereof. The fact that you find other things growing does not change the ownership. The ownership remains the land of the good man. The next verse says, while men slept. And I began to inquire of the Lord, because when we read down in this particular parable, you will find that the scripture began to demystify all the metaphors contained in this parable. So they went further to say the good seeds are the children of the kingdom. So the good seeds are children of the kingdom. The tares are the children of the evil one. So both the good seed and the tares are both children. And the good man and the enemy are both, powers that are, intentional about planting or initiating or contributing to the civilization on the earth. So they send seeds into the earth. And then you will find another thing being said there very clearly. They say, while men slept. If the good seeds are the children of the kingdom, the tares are the children of the evil one. Who are these people they call men? Who are these ones that it is only when they go to sleep that the enemy will have the ability to now plant his own? Mind you, it is not while the good man slept. It is not the responsibility of the good man to keep watch. They say while men slept. They already said that the servants of this good man came later when the blade sprung up and bore fruit. Let's read together so that I will not be paraphrasing. Next verse. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. Next verse, very quickly. 1, 2, go, everybody. But when the blades, then appeared the tares also. Listen, the enemy came while men slept in the second verse we read, saying when men slept, the enemy came and sowed tares and then went his way. So he did something in a time nobody will know he has done something. He went his way. So nobody knows that something else has been planted. It will take the period of manifestation when the seeds have sprung up, when blades are now manifest and they bear fruit. Suddenly the servants of the good man discovered another thing is growing. They didn't know when it was planted. They are not aware when it was planted, so they were busy watering all the land. They didn't know that inside that same land is also the seed of the evil one. Oh, I'm showing you an ancient secret about the period when Satan attacks. Most of the times, the time you see the attack is not when he moved. He sows the seed, goes his way. You will not know. There are people struggling with lust, people who are under the yoke of all kinds of bondage. bondage didn't start in the period where it manifested. Some of them grew with it. I have shared with us a primary nursery 2 boy, 2 in Sabo, was raising the skirt of his classmates, nursery 2. So they caught him inside the bathroom raising the skirt of a fellow nursery 2 girl. You see, that kind, the spirit of lust cannot use him yet. His sexual appendages are not well developed to be deployed yet. So what the spirit have is time. The spirit will have ample time to master his soul, so that in the day where the infirmity manifests, a prophet that is unschooled will come and say, in the name of Jesus. Then the spirit will reply you, because of how long he has tarried in that vessel. He begins to call that kind of host my house, because it's no longer possession, his stronghold. He has had ample time to mingle his way with the soul of that man. And so the longer he stays with this vessel and grew with it, so that little boy you see there, what is on him now is the spirit of lust. But you cannot see lust exhibiting yet. Anybody who have an eye who begins to see small traits, what are you looking for? And you know, if it's about spiritual things, you solve matters from the foundation. You don't attempt to begin to treat signs and symptoms. You are wasting time. The signs and symptoms, they are only a sign of a root cause. You go to the root. Where did it start from? That is where you uproot from. There are many people who cannot go a week without marking the register of the spirit of lust. Many people are victims. Many people are captive of the immoral spirit. So they are chained to addictions, pornography, masturbation, all kinds of, captivity. There are people I know, their level of, participation in that immoral act has graduated into abominations. The only thing that quenched their sexual longing, it must be something that has been tilted towards abomination. So the man is only satisfied now by when he finds a way to sleep with a pregnant woman. So you as a slave queen, you don't have anything. You are not attractive in his eye again. A spirit has drawn him. You know the way you grow in God, you grow in darkness too. One bottle of good will not remain one bottle forever. The spirit will always be giving that yearning. The way God says, come up hither. Every spirit too is inviting you to a higher place. So he started once upon a time by turning back to look at a lady that passed him. But that look will graduate. Now, the only thing that quenches his passion is if he engages with a pregnant woman. And he stood in front of me and said, I don't know how to stop it again. You know, at a point, there's a deception that hits our soul. When I want to stop, I know I can. If you are here, you are being drawn by a strange spirit into deeper chambers of darkness, and you don't know yet that they are mastering your soul. Every day that you fall for that sin again, the sin becomes stronger. A time will come, the first day it was a temptation. When you practice it long enough, it will not be a temptation again. It will become an instruction to you. Once the spirit said do, you will not have the capacity to say no. Once upon a time, you could say no. Know ye not that to whom you yield yourself servants to obey, servants you have become to whom you obey. The more you are obeying, your level of servanthood to that spirit you are obeying is becoming deeper and deeper. So a time will come, like Paul, even to Jesus, you can become a servant because of obedience. So he says, I, Paul, a bond servant of Jesus. Because anybody you obey, you are that person's servant. I don't care whether your name is John. If your life does not literally obey God, your master is Satan. Obedience is the litmus test about true Christianity. Why do you call me Lord, Lord, but you don't do? You see, I'm trying to gauge the atmosphere. This thing we are doing right now, if we must see God work in our generation, if we must handle the holy oracles of God, we must be truthful to ourselves first. Our spiritual life must start from the secret. not the open. Because as far as religion is concerned, so far so good. It starts from the open, then to the secret. So Jesus began to warn, be not like the Pharisees. They love to wear long white robes. They want to appear in a way that if you see them, you can tell that this is a spiritual man. So they found a uniform of spirituality, so that anytime you wear that uniform, you don't need to tell anybody. They'll just know that he's a rabbi, holy man. It will interest you to know that in the day where the woman was caught in adultery, you can't talk about adultery if she was not married, because marriage must be involved before the concept of adultery is established. And it's my opinion that the most aggrieved person in that case should be her husband. And I have my reasons to believe that he was playing a very pivotal role in the lynching of the woman. So he was probably at the forefront holding a stone, and they suggested to him that before we start stoning, let's find a way to rope this teacher that is always bringing strange gospel to us. Let's rope him into her blood. So Jesus was, fortunately for her, around that space that day. So they saw him sitting down with his disciples. They say, good master, Moses told us, it is written that the person who is caught in adultery should be stoned. Let me ask you a question. If it is written, if Moses told us and you know it's established, why are you asking the opinion of this man? Because the law of God is written on the tablets of our hearts. There is nobody that is doing anything wrong that does not know that is wrong. There is something on your inside telling you this thing is not the counsel of God. You see, there is nobody that will judge in the last day that will be confused or surprised. You will know where you belong. You will know what you deserve. Your heart, there is a written word on that tablet. And Jesus looked at them. All of their heart knows that this law, there is something, there is a side of it that is not reflective of the character of God. They know. So they say, what do you think? Oh, it is also my opinion. Because the Bible said Jesus began to write things on the ground as they asked that question. He began to write. I believe that he started writing the names of different sins. And all the people who were closer to him, they were seeing the one that they just did. So the first man holding the stone, maybe Jesus just wrote theft. And he remembered how he kept some money for himself from the public coffers. And so that thing he wrote now became a foundation for his utterance. So he says, he among you who is without sin should throw the first stone. Mind you, I'm talking about men, holy men of old, men who pray in public places, men who give their tithes openly. Men know that these ones, they are Puritans. But the first day, the spirit realm demanded a holy man to show up. Oh, the Bible spoke in Revelation chapter 5. It says, a loud angel will proclaim with a loud voice, who is worthy? He says, no man was found in heaven, nor on earth, nor under the earth. Anytime God says, okay, since you say you are holy, give me one holy candidate, they don't always find anybody. So it means there is a level of hypocrisy that has always been the norm on the earth. Men have a way of projecting the best sides of themselves, so that if you don't know them in the secret, you will think these are cherubs. Oh, I have thought about this thing and I continue to combat it. Don't let anybody lie to you. The best of a man is a man. You see this truth, it will rest on your soul and it will become deliverance. Any pretense, any kind of regalia, the best of a man is what?